Thank you. I'm Jan Klaußner from Bundesdruckerei. If you don't know, Bundesdruckerei operates some of the infrastructure for the national ID cards and passports of Germany. And we are also involved in the infrastructure for the qualified digital signatures, so legal binding stuff. And that's why this topic is also interesting for us. Of course, because we also have the member states that are forcing us in the end to migrate. I myself work there in the innovations department and do a lot of work in regard to standardization of PQC, especially hybrids and PKI integration. And I also did some kind of research projects in this kind of area already. We already talked about the quantum threat. So the diagram on the right shows the current estimation when experts see that the cryptographically relevant quantum computer will arrive. So if you look at the diagram like in kind of 15 to 20 years, a majority sees that this will happen. If we are more risk sensitive, then you might assume that it might happen earlier. This kind of threat threatens kind of three security goals, like confidentiality. I think you already heard about this, the harvest now, decrypt later attacks, where you record communication data and decrypt it later on. Then your authentication integrity is threatened. That also affects like ID cards, who talks to whom, or the integrity of software code and so on. And the third stuff is legal history that affects like signatures on documents, on contracts, and so on. I think this, you already heard about this when you look at this Moscas theorem, how to plan and or how to assess the risk to know when you should start migrate your product. So the threat timeline I assumed now to be 15 years. Given the experts' indications that I showed you before. So when you have like a product that has an 8-year migration time or development time and a 10-year shelf lifetime where it's in the field without with the possibility to update, then this whole thing, when you start now, will be quite beyond these 15 years where the quantum computer arrives. So this is something you all should avoid to happen, because in the last 5 years, I think, your system will be vulnerable to quantum attacks. And that's why you should plan now how to tackle this. Governments take this approach and made their own migration roadmaps or migration roadmap plans, as Bart said earlier. For example, for the US, the NSA has a quite definite roadmap where the products that shall be used by security or governmental institutions shall be migrated by like 2031 completely. And they also did quite concrete roadmaps that you should start migrating software updates features first. That also should be migrated, like I think, by end of 26. So that is quite early. And then comes other stuff like encryption, authentication, and so on. For the EU, which part that, they started like in spring this year to propose a kind of roadmap to the member states. The member states still need to adopt this kind of roadmap, but we are like also involved in talking about this roadmap from the different member states. And they plan to have a plan at end of 26 for government agencies and critical infrastructure providers. The midterm goal is to have critical applications migrated around 2030, and in 2035, I would say non-critical, but the midterm critical application shall be migrated. That's a broad overview over all the other stuff. I don't talk about the other countries and other branches of financial industry that are pictured here. But gives an impression. But I think the thing is, by 2035, most think that the migration should be done for governmental areas. So, when we want to build our own roadmap for the automotive industry, how can we approach this? So, of course, the first step would be like do an assessment of what data could be at risk. I think maybe this is already available in the company or the organization. You should then record like what is the sensitivity of the data, what is the lifetime of this data, so how shelf lifetime, how long must it be protected, and maybe also put a number on how the effort is to migrate this kind of data. Second, you need also to identify your cryptographic assets. So how is the data currently protected? Because then you can like have some kind of vulnerability map or assessment where you can see, okay, is this affected by the quantum threat, and how long will it take to migrate it? And is your risk for this data low or high or medium? In step 2, you can take this information that you collected and now start the planning. So you should be clear about why you want to migrate. Is it because of compliance? Then you have maybe other dates that you should fulfill in your migration, or do you have like risk reductions and you maybe can do it a bit later? You should define the scope. So what systems do you need to migrate then that use this data? Also like cover the dependencies to vendors and stuff. And then you should like put concrete dates and timelines on your roadmap when you want to fulfill this, and also have like KPIs that how you can measure the progress of your migration. Okay, I think that is kind of a good start how to build your roadmap. And with this, I will now hand over to this kind of workshop where we want to work in groups, right?